everyone, welcome to Thrive Thursday. Every Thursday I share recipes on here that you can make using your Thrive Life freeze-dried ingredients and foods. So I try to keep as many of the ingredients with the freeze-dried foods as possible, but occasionally, like today, when I went to pull out my Thrive Life sour cream, I didn't have enough and I need to order some because I can't find my other cans. So I am using refrigerated sour cream, but you can use Thrive Life sour cream and butter and things like that. So these recipes are to help give you some ideas of meals you can make with your food storage so you're not living off beans and rice, right? Because nobody wants to do that. Today, this week, I am going to be making Paula Dean's corn casserole. So it's cornbread and corn, all that mixed together. So a really good dish, very fall dish, which I know right now it's spring if you're watching this around when it was posted. But it sounded really good. And right now, until the end of April, the sweet corn is on sale with Thrive. So it's a good time to stock up and give you kind of a recipe idea to use with that. As always, in the description below this video, you can get the link to my Thrive Life website where you can order these shelf-stable, freeze-dried foods that are amazing and delicious, as well as there's a link to the printable version of this recipe. And even though it's Paula Dean's corn casserole, I always tweak it. So I tweak every recipe, so you kind of make it your own. And of course, we'll be using some freeze-dried ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt the camera down so you can see how I make this. I just melted my butter. It just finished. So let's get going. So the first thing you're going to do is melt 1 cube of butter, or 8 tablespoons, half a cup, however you want to measure it. It's all the same. And then we're going to add 1 cup of sour cream. Now, if you do use Thrive Life freeze-dried sour cream, you'll probably just want to add a little bit more milk than I add for this recipe, just because you need a little bit more liquid to help rehydrate it. But if you're using from the fridge, 1 cup is fine. We're going to add 1 can of cream-style corn. You don't have to strain it or anything. Just dump the whole can of cream-style corn. That'll make this nice and creamy and give you some more corn bits and all that, which there's going to be plenty of corn in this. So next, we are going to add our Thrive Life freeze-dried sweet corn. If you have not had Thrive Life's freeze-dried sweet corn, you definitely need to try this. You know how like sometimes corn on the cob just tastes better than others? Every single kernel of Thrive Life's corn tastes like that. It's like that good, just sweet corn on the cob. It's so amazing. Definitely, it's one of those things you can just like snack on by itself. So we're going to put 2 cups of the corn into our mixture here. And then we're going to add 1 box of, this is just Jiffy cornbread mix. It's a 5.8 ounce box. 1 box of that. You don't need to pre-make it or anything. We're putting it with all of our other ingredients in here. So it's just another ingredient. The dry mix, it's mostly cornmeal, I think, but I'm sure it has other ingredients in their mix as well. And then, now that we have all those in there, we are going to add some milk. So for this, because the purpose of the milk is really to rehydrate our freeze-dried corn as well as our cheese, okay? So we want to do 1 cup of milk. So first I put in a half a cup of milk here, and then because I was just thinking for the corn, but then I realized, oh wait, we have the cheese in there too, so let's add another half cup. So anyhow, you want 1 cup of milk added to this. And what that's going to do is just give your freeze-dried ingredients something to help them reconstitute, something to moisture to absorb, basically. If you're not using freeze-dried ingredients, you don't need to worry about using the milk. But the milk is just to help it rehydrate the freeze-dried ingredients. So next we're going to do our Thrive Life freeze-dried shredded cheese. So we're going to put about a cup's worth of cheese into the mixture. And remember, we have our milk in there to help it to hydrate. We also have the butter and the sour cream. So the liquid from those will also help the corn and the cheese rehydrate as well. You just add that milk. It gives it a little bit more moisture. And we're going to reserve, so the recipe says well, my recipe you can find on the blog is going to tell you 2 cups of cheese, but I only put 1 cup in this batter mixture because we're going to do the other cup on top. And when you use freeze-dried shredded cheese on top of something, there's a little trick you can do, I'll show you here, to help it rehydrate when you bake it. So we just mix it all together. Once it's mixed together, you want to lightly grease your pan and then pour your batter into it. Kind of just looks like a thick cake batter. And once you get that in there and spread out, we're going to top it with the freeze-dried shredded cheese. So now, because the freeze-dried shredded cheese is not rehydrated and it's going to be on top of the casserole instead of inside it, it needs moisture to rehydrate, right? Unlike the cheese that's inside, it'll absorb the moisture from the sauce and the milk and all that. But the cheese on the top, it doesn't have that moisture to absorb. So in order to help it be able to fully rehydrate, what we're going to do is we're just going to get a squirt bottle filled with water. Just a normal squirt bottle filled with tap water is fine. And make sure you have it on the mist setting. And we're just gonna lightly spray the cheese down. I know it sounds weird because you're spraying it with water, but the cheese is gonna absorb it. And really, I mean, anything that cheese wouldn't absorb is gonna evaporate in the oven anyway. So don't worry too much about it. It's better to have it evaporate in the oven than have hard cheese, right? So just make sure you really get that cheese watered really well, and then put it in the oven 350 degrees for 45 minutes. And it's that easy. So here you are. Look at all this corn. So here's the thing. It's kind of like a combination between cornbread and corn. I mean, that's kind of really what it is. Just cornbread with corn, right? And cheese and sour cream. You can't go wrong. Okay. Okay, it's pretty good. It's got this, it's like a mild but sweet. From that sweet corn, that flavor is amazing. But this would be such a good side dish. It's got this just mild, buttery corn taste. Really good though, and it's just got a hint of sweetness to it from that sweet corn. That is really, really good. This would be so good. You could actually even put this in muffins, I bet, in a muffin tin, and it would be like little corny cornbread muffins. You can call them that, right? They're like corn. Anyhow, it's pretty good. Definitely would be a good side dish at like Thanksgiving. That would be so good. Instead of like just regular corn. There's nothing fancy about that. This is really good, and it was really easy to make. So, hope you enjoyed it. Try it. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And or if you have any other alterations or ideas of things to do differently. Yeah, be sure to like and subscribe so you see our recipes every Thursday. And I'll see you next week.